Alrighty, folks, welcome to Stormtopia.com and the Stormtopia.com Facebook page. The storm on Saturday is getting a whole ton more clear. We're going to be giving you all the details in this forecast video. Let's start you out with the forecast mode today. Snow pushes through late Thursday into Friday. That's batch 1. Nasty burst of snow early Friday morning. Yeah, tough driving. You're going to get a lot of it. Eastern Mass, including Boston, including Providence, all the way up to Bangor, you're going to be dealing with very slick conditions into the morning on Friday. Slick driving and heavy snow on, well, it says Friday. It should say Saturday. And the toughest driving later Saturday, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Let's talk about Thursday, because Thursday is the one day that hasn't been discussed, because you know what? It's the least active day. I haven't changed the forecast since yesterday. Late day snow showers is all you're going to be talking about. How about Friday? Well, it's a little bit less complicated, or more complicated, I should say. Friday's forecast is basically you're getting a burst of moderate snow in the morning, and basically I'm going to show you how that works out, and you're getting about 1 to 3 inches of accumulations. And it's going to be some very tough driving conditions. A lot of times, people don't expect it. This is the kind of thing, I'm telling you guys, that people don't check the forecast. They assume, well, if there's no big storm coming, then nothing could happen in the morning commute. No, this could be a pretty substantial deal, especially accompanied by the strong winds that will accompany it. Let's take a look at Futurecast here. Wait a sec. And I'm going to zoom you guys on in here. Basically, there we are widely over the Northeast. Let's zoom a little bit more into southern New England and central northern New England specifically, and move the map over like this. Interrogation, let's go further south. There we go. And a little bit further west. Why not? Here we are by Thursday. Of course, later Thursday, that clipper is starting to make an impact for itself off to the west. This is overnight Thursday and Friday. Here we are around 4 a.m. Friday morning, 7 a.m. Snows are pretty substantially snowing. If any of you guys have the luxury of going to work at 10 a.m., which I know in these hard times most Americans don't, you'll be fine. And you know what? Sun's going to follow right behind it. So in that respect, most of the day Friday will not be all that bad, except in eastern Maine, where you're going to be stuck with the snow until the evening. And then later Friday, what's this next storm? I'm going to tell you what that next storm is. It's a pretty big deal. Okay? Let's take a look at Saturday's forecast. And these are just our first predictions for how much snow will fall and what you're basically going to be dealing with. Okay? We have the low pressure center centered in central Virginia. We've got the precipitation shield off to the north and east. This is going to be somewhat of a strung out mess, which is why there won't be feet and feet of snow like there is right now in the Pacific Northwest, which is one consequential system, sort of belt of storms that you expect to continue going into the Pacific Northwest. And basically what's going on here is that you're seeing it moving from west to east, and we're basically talking about snow, all right? Anywhere from New York City northward, you'll probably from a mix and some snow over to rain. You'll be looking at a slushy. If anyone has the luxury of leaving work in the afternoon, you'll be dealing with a slushy commute from New York to Hartford. And then by the time we get into the evening, there's going to be a rain-snow line that will establish itself as far north as the Mass Pike, as far south as, say, Providence. And anywhere in between there, it's a toss, okay? But anywhere north of there, you're likely going to be snowing pretty significantly. Into the night, you continue to snow. We're going to show you an animation of what that looks like in just a bit. What it means is from Boston to Worcester to Albany, 6 to 12 inches. North and west, it's a little bit lighter, 3 to 6 inches. What storm does this sound like? December 16th, 2007. No, December 13th, 2007. This storm will be very similar in amounts. That in the 13th storm, there was a widespread 6 to 12. It'll probably be a lot like that. Some areas might only see 5. In the 13th storm, there was one, Granby, Connecticut got 13 inches. I could see Granby, Connecticut getting 13 this time around. I think the Litchfield Hills, the Berkshires, and the Worcester Hills will see the best chances on the higher end of the scale, closer to the coast, and then the lower elevations, such as Middlesex County and Norfolk County, will be closer to the 6 inches. Let's talk about animation. No, I'm not talking about Disney. If I had a chance to talk about Disney and I had the time during an active storm period, trust me, I would. I'm talking about, European model. Here we are by 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. We've got snow all the way out to Albany in its heaviest form. We got a pretty good, admittedly a pretty small storm. Again, here's that low pressure center down in central Virginia by the afternoon hours. Meanwhile, it's sort of a strung out mess, tons of precipitation, not much of it in the cold air. The European model 540 line is not exactly the indicator of snow in January. It is typically south of the 540 line. It is typically at 75% of the way between 546 and 540. If you were to draw it like that, it would be looking a little bit more like this. So here's the rain-snow line, and this whole area is seeing snow. By afternoon hours of Saturday, the rain-snow line moves a little bit north, and these areas stay mostly snow. How much snow do you see based on the Euro? If any of you guys can guess just by looking at a map, congratulations, you have a lot more skills than me, because I sure can't. And what the great folks at AccuWeather have done with their model interpretation or whatever it's called, I don't know if they get it from another company, I'm really not knowledgeable on the stuff, they have made it easy for us to see how much snow there actually would be based on a ratio of 10 to 1. Will there be a ratio of 10 to 1? No, there won't be, but let's talk about what that might actually be meaning. It paints a stripe of around 6 from northeast Ohio all the way back on northern Pennsylvania, all the way to about Boston. And if we finish this map up, it goes a little bit farther east, some snow flurries on the back end. That is basically how it works out. Now, here's the key part to it. This is based on a 10 to 1 ratio. It would be nice if every single time it snowed, it was a 10 to 1 ratio. Got news for you. It's almost never exactly a 10 to 1 ratio. Different areas have different ratios. The colder you are, the more snow you see, the fluffier the ratio. So let's talk about where the ratios will be fluffiest. Berkshires. Yeah, I've never figured out why it turns blue. Never contemplated it, never been able to figure it out. The Nanocks into Worcester Hills. Those will be the coldest areas, and of course the snowiest and all snow areas during the storm. They'll have the best ratio. I could easily see a 12 to 1 to 14 to 1 ratio in those areas. How much snow does that translate to? 8 to 10 inches, on the higher end of 6 to 12. How about the ratios in places like Middlesex and Norfolk County? And closer to the Pioneer Valley, places like these areas, places like these areas. Well, it's not exactly as convenient for you. Based on this, you would be talking about closer to 5 to 8 inches. So, on the lower end of the scale. Now guys, this is just based at the Euros, right? Will the Euro probably be right in its simplest form of heavy snow in this area? Probably. Will it be exactly like that? Probably not. How much does the NAM show? Well, the NAM is one of the times arguably the most accurate short-range model. Let's talk about what's going on with the latest run of the NAM. This is going to be the latest and greatest 18Z run, and because you guys are so special, you always get the latest and greatest runs. I'm going to save you the MSLP QPF6 plot, because all you really need to know is how much precip actually accumulates. Now the first part of precip, the first amount, here we are at 54 hours. This stuff that you see is from early Friday morning. So again, this is about 1 to 3 inches. Now this is the stuff that you see additionally when the storm comes through. Around 3/4 of an inch to an inch of accumulated rain. With a ratio of 14 to 1, let's use the ratio converter. And this is one of the most interesting tools that forecasters have to figure this stuff out. WXalert.info. Let's see what the ratio would be for the Worcester Hills. How much QPF? Well, if you take the 1/10 of an inch off of 3/4 to an inch, you'd be looking at, say, 75/100 of an inch. If you took the coldest air, 14 to 1 ratio, it would probably be close to, I don't know, maybe -4, -4.5 degrees Celsius. Yeah, 10 inches of snow, the higher end of the scale. Now say you're a little bit warmer, and you're closer to -1.5 in a place like Framingham. Well, that would be closer to 8. So that's why I have a abnormally large range of 6 to 12. Further to the north and west, in central New England, out west, you're looking at great ratios. 14 to 1, 15, even 18 to 1. Here's the issue. Not enough QPF. So probably 6 to 12 is a very specified location in that band, which you really see get going. When will this arrive? For Western New England morning, Eastern New England afternoon. It'll be a mess for everyone. You could see some snow left over Sunday morning in the east. That's it for now. Have a good day.